In this exercise, we will discover a new tool, which is the blend tool. So we are going to start with this image as a reference, and we will end up with this result. Create new. We'll keep the same settings. Create. File. Place. Exercise 7. Click. Check template and place. First thing, we're gonna start with the letter B. So I zoom on it like this. I'm gonna select the pen tool. I'm gonna change the fill to none. I'll place the cursor right here and make one click. I'll make a straight line like this. Click and drag here. I come here and I click and drag and make sure I match the image like this. Press escape. I'm gonna place the cursor right here. Click straight line. I'm gonna click and drag like this. I come here and click and drag, make sure I match the image, the curve of the image like this. Press escape. Now, line segment tool, I'm gonna create a vertical line like this, a straight vertical line like this, and another line from here to here. Selection tool, I'm gonna select both these lines, change the stroke weight to 5 points. Now, this line and this line, I'm gonna select them like this and set the stroke weight to 2 points. Now I'm gonna select the blend tool. I click. Now I'm gonna put the cursor right here on the first line. I make one click. I go to the next line. You see there's a plus sign when I put the cursor right here, and I click, and you see the result we get. I'm gonna double click, blend options, spacing, and make sure I choose specified steps. And you notice how the line starts like this, a straight thin line, and then gradually the shape changes, and also the thickness of the line changes until it becomes this line. So that's the blend effect. We have 10 steps in between. I can decrease the number of steps if I want to, and I can increase. I'm gonna leave it at 20 steps and click on OK. Now select, deselect is very important. Then I'm gonna create another blend from here to here. So I click on the line and go to the next line, and I click, I create the same effect. I double click on the option. I'm gonna change this from 10 to 20 steps, and I'm gonna click OK. Once this is done, I can go to direct selection tool. I can change the shape of this line, and all the others will follow. I can move the handles also, and all the others will follow. I can move the point right here, and all the others will follow. I'm just gonna put this point down a little bit, and this point I'm gonna move it. Okay, I'll move this down a little bit like this, and this one I'm gonna move it a little bit up like this. I'll make it a little bit better, and I'm gonna move to the next letter now, the letter L. I'm gonna start with the polygon tool. With the down arrow, I get a triangle like this. I can press shift to make sure it doesn't rotate, stays like this. Okay, I'm gonna put the triangle right here. about this size. I'm going to change the fill to red and the stroke to none, like this. Now I'm going to switch to the ellipse tool. I'm going to press shift and draw a circle like this, about this size. Put it right here, and I'm gonna change the color to blue. Now, the next shape, I go to rectangle tool, I place the cursor right here, I press shift, and I draw a square like this. Now I'm gonna change the color to yellow. Gonna deselect. I'm gonna go back to the blend tool. I'm gonna click on this shape, then I click on this shape, and we create a blend like this. You see the effect we get, how the red triangle is slowly becoming a blue circle like this, and you see the shapes in between. I'm gonna double click here, and I'm gonna reduce the number of steps to 3 like this, and click OK. Now I'm gonna click on this shape, go to this shape and click, and we get the same effect. And if I ever click on direct selection tool and decide to move a certain shape, you see all the other shapes will follow. Same here. If I decide to move an entire line, also the rest will follow. If I decide to change the shape like this, for example, the others will follow. If I make a square like this, you see what's happening here. If I make the triangle like this, you see what's happening. Control Z to go back. Now redo. And I'm gonna move to the next letter, which is the E letter. I'm gonna select the polygon tool. I'm gonna build another triangle like this. I place the triangle right here. Gonna press Alt and duplicate like this. Put another triangle right here. I'm gonna choose the star tool. Press Shift and Alt at the same time to get a star like this. Now I'm gonna move the star here. Gonna duplicate the star right here. Make sure they are on the same line. And I'm gonna choose the polygon tool. I'm gonna create. I don't let go with the up arrow. I get this result. I get this shape right here. I'm gonna rotate it like this, and I'm gonna change the size like this. Put this one right here. Press Alt and put another one right here. Now I'm gonna select these 3 shapes. Double click here. I'm gonna change the color to purple. Okay, and these shapes I'm gonna change the color to this shade of green like this. Now I'm gonna create a blend. I can use this tool to create a blend, or I can select the 2 shapes, go to Object, Blend, Blend Options. I'm gonna set the number of steps to 20. I click on OK. I go back to Object, Blend, and I click on Make. And just like that, I get this result, I get this effect. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Object, Blend. The blend options are already set up, so I just click on Make here. select these two shapes, same thing, blend and click on make. If I ever decide to modify the blend, I can always select, go back to object, blend options, and then I can change if I want to, like this. Then I click on OK. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna click on cancel, and I'm gonna move to the next letter. I'm gonna choose the line segment tool. I'm gonna set the stroke to 10 points. I create a vertical line like this. I'm gonna select the width tool now, and I'm gonna go to the middle like this, and I'm gonna make the middle very thin, just like this. So it's thick on the edges and very thin in the middle. I go to selection tool, I'm gonna duplicate, press Alt, duplicate like this. I'm gonna select the two lines at the same time, Alt and duplicate, put the copy right here. Now line segment tool, I'm gonna create a line from here to here, like this. Now the thickness of the line is 1 point. I'm gonna choose the width tool. I'm gonna go to the middle and make it a little bit thicker like this. I'm gonna zoom a little bit. Not very thick, just a little bit like this. And we get this result. Now selection tool, I'm going to press Alt and I'm going to duplicate like this, duplicate the line. Here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to select both these lines, go to object, blend options, specified steps. This time I'm going to set the steps to 10, click on OK, go to object, blend, and click on make. We get this effect. Now these two lines, by the way, I can even make the edges very thin like this, even thinner. Like this. Now back to object, blend, and I have to select first, selection tool, select both, object, blend, click on make, and select these two, object, blend, and make. I'm gonna move to the next letter now, the D. This time I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna select the ellipse tool. I'm gonna press shift and create a circle like this. I go to gradient and I'm gonna apply a linear gradient. First color, I'm gonna choose the blue color. The other color, I'm gonna choose pink. And the angle, I'm gonna change this to 120 degrees. Now I'm gonna take the circle right here. I'm gonna press Alt, I'm gonna duplicate the circle like this. Now we have two circles. I'm gonna select both. I'm gonna double click here. I'm gonna change the blend options to specified distance. I'm gonna click on one pixel, click on OK. Now click here and then click here. We get this result. The circles are so close that you don't see circles, you only see this shape with this effect. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna select the pen tool, gonna set the fill to none and stroke weight to 5 points so we can see it. I'm gonna start from here, click, make a straight line up to here. I put the cursor right here, click and drag, create a curve like this. click and drag, create a curve like this, and now I'm gonna make sure I don't touch the beginning of the curve. I'm just gonna put a point right here, like close to the first point, but I make sure I don't make them touch. I press escape. We get this line. Now I'm gonna go back to selection tool. I'm gonna select both shapes. I go to object, I go to blend, and I'm gonna click on replace spine. And just like that, we get this result. If I select the direct selection tool, I can modify the shape if I want to by moving points like this, for example. I can move handles if I want, like this. I can move the circle if I want to, like this. I'm gonna put it back. And I can even right click, arrange, and click on send to back. And just like that, the effect changes a little bit and we get this result. Now I can hide the template, I no longer need it. And now the exercise is finished. You go do the same and don't forget to save.